a podcast created by two guys brought together by movement, transformed into brotherhood. The boys share their authenticity as they deep dive into what it means to explore this human experience. Shedding light on personal trials and accumulated wisdom, Conscious Collingwood is meant to provoke thought and insight to expand your personal awareness. Come along for the journey as Justin and Jeff exemplify what it means to be a man living wholeheartedly, balancing the divine, masculine, and feminine. Welcome to Conscious Collingwood.
Yes, well, thank you for the invite to the new location.
Out of desperation.
Yeah, thankfully the golf club is open now 12 hours a day, and so unless we're going to get up early in the morning or stay up way late at night, we're going to have to retire the blue chairs for just a little bit.
We might have to do a late night one.
Yeah.
That might be fun.
Sipping on something.
Yeah. Wow, to get me up that late and stay up that late, I'll probably have a buzz on. Sure. Not very often I
Yeah. Your curfew is about 8:30.
Yeah. Not tonight.
No. We're going to have some fun. Yeah, so in discussing which topic or what we'd like to cover today, I know I'm fresh off of a tarot card reading with our friend Alex at the studio. Mm-hmm. And I know you, when was yours recently?
I think I had mine last week or 2 weeks. Last week or 2 weeks ago.
So I would still say that's fresh.
Yeah, it was fresh. It's fresh.
And yeah, so I think it'd be fun to discuss what came up for us. Obviously, we're not going to share the intimate details, but I think just the magic of what it is. Mm-hmm. What it is a tool.
Yeah. And
maybe at our stage in our life, how we're using it and how it fuels us and what we take away from it. So,
yeah, the tarot it's a deck of cards. It's actually, if you look at the history of tarot, it's older than, they say older than Christianity. Like,
oh, really?
Old shit. Christians actually created it. And that's why, now Christians demonize it, but funny how that works.
Yeah.
And so it's a deck of a ton of cards. There are cups, which is like emotions, pentacles, which is like, I don't know, things. I don't know too much about tarot, let's be real. And we have swords.
Swords.
What's the last one? This is funny. Last thing is something. And then there's the major arcana. So there's like king, queen, page, and some other things like sun, moon.
It's wands, isn't it? The other one?
Wands,
yeah.
Wands. And so all this kind of gives the reader or the person doing the reading insight to what's kind of coming up for said person that's getting a reading done. And I like to say that whenever you're getting a tarot card reading, as long as the person reading is tapped in, your consciousness, regardless of how you shuffle the cards, is, as long as you touch the cards, your consciousness is going to choose the card that's friggin' right for you. Yeah. And I've done it for 7+ years, and it's pretty wild what comes up. Sometimes I would just draw one card a day, and I just kind of get annoyed. Like, I get it,
Yeah.
Like I get it. Or what was the one? Fear. And I literally drew fear. I shuffled that motherfucker hard, and I drew fear like a whole week. And I was like, I'm done. I get it. And it's, sometimes it's like, that's the lesson. Mm-hmm. Once you get it, like, I understand that I got it, but I wasn't out of the fear yet. I was still feeling fear. So it's just very interesting like that.
Yeah.
I hope that gives you some sort of context to tarot. But we both got a reading from Alex, and he is phenomenal. So Alex, and I get, some people might think this is woo-woo, but whatever, live a boring life. And so Alex is phenomenal, and he does a little bit of mediumship. So things come to him as he's like doing, these tarot readings, and they're quite phenomenal.
Yeah, I like you. I believe you've seen a psychic before a few times. No, you've never seen a psychic before?
No.
Really?
No, I don't want to know.
Oh, okay. I don't know you as well as I thought.
Yeah.
So my mom has a couple friends who are psychics. So my awareness around that energy, if you will, has been since I was probably a teenager. Just knowing that she would go and see one or else, and she would never really discuss much, but just the awareness that they exist or whatever. And then getting a little bit older, life gets challenging here and there. You're like, okay, what's up for me? And so I would go and see these women. So where I'm sharing this is where I'm going with this rather is I've seen a psychic, numerous times, and I've also worked with a medium before. I've done tarot with another individual, and so like I had no sticker shock. Like I went into the room with Alex just wide open. I'm familiar with it. It's not like I'm closed off and like, what the fuck's going to happen here? It's like I'm ready to receive, and get in the room and you set an intention and kind of call it a quick meditation. And I just open myself up, and it's like, whatever the spirit guides have for me today, please let that come through. And then, I had a couple specific questions I wanted to ask. So that's how I set my intention. And then I would say, like, he said he was a little nervous reading me because he also meditates before he sees the individual. And so that allows him to obviously ground himself and tap into the energy field of this individual. And then he brings that into the room. And so he had a little sticky note, some writing on it, and a couple things that came through for him. But he was like a little frazzled. He was just, I don't know why. But then we got into the flow. I would say the first few minutes was a little clunky. And then, I'm not giving him information, but nudging him a little bit with some detail, so it helps bring some clarity to his readings. And then we went to outer space and back, and I was like, holy fuck. Like I actually said, fuck you once out loud, because he
That's when you know it's good for Jeff.
Because
I know in my classes, I'm doing good.
Yeah, I cursed out Justin last week from a heart-centered place, but he was pushing us all pretty hard. And I had to release.
Yeah.
It had to come out. I couldn't hold it in anymore.
Good.
But yeah, he touched on a very specific detail of a vision and a creative vision I'm working on. And it didn't scare me, didn't spook me, but I was just like, how do you see that? So for me, again, just to summarize that, like I've just been open to this, and I went in with feeling a lot of clarity in my visions and feeling balanced. And so it was just to kind of confirm, give you a little bit of fuel if you're needing it to keep pursuing that path, because we can feel like our energy is forking. Which way should I go, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's just a beautiful tool to help give you that guidance.
Yeah. It's a phenomenal tool, because life can feel, life is so magical and it's exciting, and I really feel like I'm living such a intentionally fun, enjoyable life. And being like a single guy, it's, there's a lot to dream about, I think, still for me, in, aspects of relationship and, all that kind of fun stuff. And so, and even like career, all that. And so I've had 2 readings done by Alex. One was a few months ago, and no word of a lie, almost everything came to fruition. And it's not like he's not telling you concrete things, but he's like just saying things that are coming to him and coming through the cards. And everything unraveled how it was meant to, like, and sometimes you can be a trickster to yourself, because you're going to be like, oh, this is going to turn out this way. But it turns out in a similar way, but very different from actually what you want it to.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful of tricking yourself.
Yeah.
And just taking the card, like taking the reading at like, it's exciting, it's fun, it's very magical, and yeah, keep your feet on the ground, stay realistic, but.
And obviously we get to decide, right? A thought comes in, we get to choose the second one. We really get to choose our destiny. I believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to contradict myself here. I think a lot of things are written in the stars, but we also, I think, have the ability to change course if we really desire, right? We could just go out and do a bunch of drugs right now and really throw our life for a...
Yeah.
We're not going to do that, I don't think, but
maybe tonight.
You get my point. Like, you get to choose. And so my brother actually said this to me one time to help, I wouldn't say ground me, but just to remind me that these individuals that can tap into your energy, they're picking up on your energy. Mm-hmm. And so if I go into that room with this creative vision and this challenge or whatever else, they're picking up on that.
Yeah.
But I feel like this one in particular, I went in with so much clarity in where I want to go that he picked up on it all, and then, was able to build a little more substance and just maybe, if you will, solidify some of the thoughts I've been having.
Yeah.
And help provide me with more confirmation that this is where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah.
Right?
It's and same, like, on the opposite is, if you're closed off, like, if you don't want them to be read, or you are hiding things, not being real with yourself, he's not going to be able to read you very well. Mm-hmm. And he talks about that a lot. He's like, if someone's open, the readings are amazing. But if somebody's really closed, just things don't come to him.
Yeah.
He can't be in the flow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like I was saying to you, because it was so beautiful, like, you sent me a voice note after you got finished with them, because your socks were blown off again.
And
then I reciprocated, because I was like, I got to tell Jay. And I sent you mine. I'm just like, I haven't done psychedelic medicine, but I'm just believing it. It felt like that for me, because everything he described was so clear. It was like he was in my goddamn head. And I was just like, how is this possible? And so again, that's where I just got even more clarity and confident about where I want to go, mm-hmm. and even more enthusiastic about where I'm going. And I'm sure you're the same way. It's like I could see my future. He was helping me. Like, he wasn't telling me my future. He was just helping me see it. Mm-hmm. Do you think
that's
there's a difference
exactly
there?
how I would explain what it's like. Yeah. It's like, it's encouragement almost. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. Like, and it's funny, because he does, like, he'll say, like, there's gonna be challenge here. It's not like, oh, everything's gonna fall into place and life is gonna be wonderful and easy for you. No. It's oftentimes like, things are gonna come up that are gonna challenge you along the journey, and this is kind of that energy that is gonna show up. So the cards really, like, explore different, like, things that pop up. I'm like, oh my God, that's actually what I'm kind of dealing with right now. And it's been a challenge. And it's like, and then there might be another card that's like, it's going to be a little bit longer. You have to stay the course, maintain the momentum you have, and trust in the process, mm-hmm. and your ability to navigate it. So.
Yeah. I think for me, one of the biggest takeaways from the reading was when he was talking about challenge, and he saw, the expansion in this one area. But he said it's going to come with a lot of challenge, and you're going to have to navigate this and that. And then throughout, there was 5 cards in this draw, and there was one, and I apologize, it's escaped me right now, but it was like, let's just call it my higher self, mm-hmm. and call it my angel, whatever, but my consciousness. It was like, it was there in all the turmoil, and it was just showing me that as long as I keep fighting, and as long as I keep doing what I've been doing, I'll continue to rise above, and I will get to where I'm destined to go, where I want to go. And the word that Alex used that really, I don't know, helped reaffirm my life, I suppose, what I've been through, is just the endurance. He goes, the amount of stuff, Jeff, you've endured, mm-hmm. like, most people would have quit. Mm-hmm. A lot of people would have quit by now. Like, your endurance to to handle suffering and challenge is unbelievable. So he's like, kind of stay the course. And so as he's sharing that, and where I'm bringing this up too is because he's using the word challenge, and I dare say his energy was like, oh, it's not going to be that easy. But for me, I was like, I don't know how it could get any harder. Like,
yeah,
we were open to business in COVID. We grinded through that.
Yeah.
We've been through some tough times as a family and financially and, family dynamics, all that sort of stuff. Terry's mom passed away. We've been through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
It fucking really can't get any worse, can it?
Yeah.
Maybe it can, but I feel like I have enough life experience that I'll just try and be as grounded as possible.
Yeah.
One foot in front of the other, and you'll just deal with it. And so where I'm going with that is I think he might have been infusing a little bit of his feelings around challenge and stuff. For me, I'm like, oh, it's just another mixer class or another strength class.
Yeah.
It's life. It's just another day. It's just life.
Yeah,
it's just contrast, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, but I think I actually needed to hear that, whether that was a message from my guides or my higher self or whatever, but I don't know if it made me blush, but it made me feel good about myself. I was like, I think I needed to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
A pat on the back.
Yeah.
From whatever.
Yeah. And I feel like if it had come from my mom or my dad or a friend or whatever, I don't think it would have had the same, for some reason in that moment, I was just like, oh, fuck, that really hit home.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. It's what's going in my mind right now is like, what am I willing to share about the reading?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Take a moment to think about that. I'll think about it too.
So my first reading, and Alex is at Everlove. He's doing readings now. If you want to sign up, it's phenomenal. It's worth every penny. He read me the first time, and I was in. Oh man, this is actually, it feels a little vulnerable, but whatever.
100 people are going to see this.
I know, that's fine. So what was going on in my life was just, I had entered like a very new connection with somebody, and like it didn't last long, but it showed up in the cards, obviously, and my work showed up in the cards. He actually, so his meditation he did for me was he saw lungs and kidneys, and then he also saw jellyfish. So jellyfish as a spirit animal or a guide, and I have an animal spirit guide book. So jellyfish means strong in community, go with the flow, and some other qualities like that. And then don't quite understand the kidneys and the lungs totally, but I did have asthma. You never know, right?
Yeah.
Maybe my kidneys are a little shot from having a good time back in the day. But yeah, you never really know. But this reading really like showed me as like an emperor. So getting into, it was the process of evolution of my life where I'm now in a phase of creation and growing something like a business or whatever, and there's going to be financial abundance from it. He was like, is there an inheritance? Like, are you inheriting money? And I was like, nope, definitely not. So it was all like very interesting, all these things, and he saw in the cards that this person that I had seen for a little bit, we'd butt heads, and we both had a lot of strong energy, and he can't say is it going to work or is it not going to work. It's all he could see was that we were going to butt heads, and we did, and it didn't pan out, but we're still good friends, and navigated that relationship just fine, and I'm proud of myself, and I learned a lot from it. So and then I don't know if I'm totally comfortable sharing about the inheritance piece, but that unraveled in a way that I didn't see it coming. It just happened to me.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh, huh, holy shit. Wow. Huh, maybe it. And then, so things like that just started unfolding. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, as you were saying that, I was
This is
connecting the dots. I'm like,
crazy.
yeah, that must have been the inheritance.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Weird, eh?
Yeah.
So, that's, I think, all I can share from the first one. The first one's a little bit, and I record all my sessions. So
Yeah.
on voice note, I have it recorded. Did you do that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Good.
If I may too, I just want to add, just for the benefit the listeners, I suppose, like, I think you had a good time, and it was a beautiful time with this person, and there was both a lot of healing that happened between both
of us.
So it's one of those relationships that were here for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, and it was here for
a
season, right?
Yeah.
And so you both benefited from it, even though there was challenging conversations. But you guys ended it amicably and beautifully.
And it showed up in the second reading too.
Did it?
As giving thanks to each other. Yeah. How fucking funny is that?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Stop it, Alex! Stop!
Get out of my head.
Sorcery.
No, it's crazy. Like,
oh, wow.
it was giving thanks for the lessons learned through connecting with each other, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it was wild. But it's beautiful insight.
Yeah. Am I supposed to go now?
Well, I could share about the second
reading.
go.
Please do. You're on a roll here.
So the second reading was also King, Emperor, a lot of energy there, and a lot of fortune, just following my life path. Chariot came up, which is like stay the course. I did ask about love and relationship because, I'm a curious guy, and I'm a friggin' emotional dude. So I do love love. Like, I love connecting, and I am looking for a soulmate, not just a relationship, to be like completely honest. So I am curious, and I asked about that. So the business stuff is fine. I know that I'm going to be successful, and I know that I'm going to create amazing things. But what I really want to know is like what's happening in Jay's love life. So he actually had a lot of detail around that. Detail I'm not going to share. I'm just going to keep it close to my heart. But it's still like, stay the course, trust in the process. And it's so funny because the lesson I learned was I need to just be me and not shapeshift or be overly agreeable. I truly need to be myself, and then love is going to find me.
Not a people pleaser and stuff. And
so in my life, my dad was super intense. Some would probably call it abuse, and my mother was very loving. They were not together, and there were some situations and circumstances where I didn't feel loved, but I felt loved by my dad when I was just agreeable, or I was quiet, or I didn't make a fuss. I was just trying to be like, this guy's he'll fly off the handle at any point. And if I ate my fucking cereal too fast, there were points in time, like I remember I would be eating my cereal, and he'd be like, slow the fuck down. I'm like 6 or whatever. And then he leaves the house, and then I'm eating, and I look up the window, and he's right there, and he's like, what the fuck are you, like, losing his mind again? And I just felt I always felt like, and I got grounded, but I just felt like there was always somebody fucking watching me, and
just pins and needles all day.
Pins and needles, didn't feel safe, and thank God I was just yelling. But it's wild, as a child. So I grew up trying to please people, to navigate those situations from a place of calm and pretty good at dissociating because the intensity was like too much sometimes as a child. You cope the best that you can. So I noticed that in relationship, I had been in a 10-year relationship. And then really that's pretty much my majority of my relationship experience. And then this other one that was more recent, which was barely even a relationship. So I learned, my learning right now is to understand that I have this pattern of not totally having an opinion or not saying my full truth and standing in it because of maybe the opinion of the other person. Like, I'd rather things be okay.
You don't want to rock the boat.
I don't want to rock the boat. I'll hide parts of myself because I also, like, you know, due to like friends and family, if I revealed parts of myself, it was fucking used as ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
So I also hide parts of myself. I don't fully, like, you know, I'm very agreeable, or I'll find a balanced opinion about a topic that maybe I actually in my heart have a stronger opinion about. And it's my work now to recognize those things. Easier said than done.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a pretty conscious guy, and this is there's still shit to work on.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really happy and proud of myself for bringing this to light, and having like the most amazing friends and support systems to really, you know, go into it. But it was, I don't even know how I got into this, but it's really my work now to be honest and just be me, and don't be overly agreeable. Know that my opinion is totally valid, and if it rocks somebody's boat, then maybe, you know, that might not be the right person to be with. For it to be a sustainable, healthy, balanced relationship.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. That's a good share. And yeah, it all ties into the tarot because the tarot is giving you that information.
It was very. And I knew that was happening. Like, before the second reading, I had exited this woman, and I exited the relation or the connection we were having. And I was just like, all right, you know, fresh start. Like, let's get some insight. So to book this tarot reading. And I knew that I started uncovering that's why. And so through this process, I'm like, yeah, I know, you know. And then through deeper conversations with Ariana, after her retreat, I really like uncovered what was going on. I was like, great, childhood stuff.
It's so crazy how buried it is. It's just
it's
and
how because a child adopts these behaviors to protect itself. And then even if life gets better, it's still using these behaviors in unconscious ways. And then you realize, or you wake up one day to the reality of maybe not being true to your own soul. And you're like, fuck. Damn. Like, I felt heartbroken this week, and I feel like I broke my own heart. You know?
For the past?
For not being... No. Well, I think maybe for taking so long to get it. But I'm not heartbroken anymore. Like, I can understand that that's the process of development, and sometimes it takes a while. And I'm only 32.
Yeah, you're young.
I'm a young guy.
You're a young guy.
I'm proud of myself. Some people don't even figure it out.
No, that's right.
So,
well, and you were able to see yourself in this shorter stint. Right? You're able to see that reflection and see that growth. And because if you hadn't had any awareness around there, you could still be in this relationship sitting on pins and needles. And next thing you know, you're engaged or something, and then you're just like the same bullshit. You know,
fighting for something that probably wouldn't have ever worked. You know?
So I think it's amazing.
I
got two questions for you.
Let's go.
If I may. Can I? And you can just say, you can pass over.
I know.
So the first one's about your dad real quick, like maybe 10 seconds.
Let's talk about Timmer.
Do you know what would have triggered him because you ate your cereal too fast? Like what do you think might have been?
Fuck, dude, I don't know. I think he was
I'm just trying to think as a father, like if my child was doing something, sometimes they're not doing it fast enough, so I get triggered. But like, is you where you're going to get a stomach pain, or you're not going to be able to digest your food
pain or something like that
properly? Like it seems like it's a very there's a lack of communication there.
Well, the dude yelled at me, like screamed in my face. Like how I explain it is, and him and I are cool now, but we still have obviously healing to do, but we're cool.
Yeah.
But I've always wondered what it takes for a grown man to scream at a child in the face. So I don't know.
Well, what I would say though is you don't have kids yet.
Yeah.
And so it can happen.
But I was pretty quiet and agreeable. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Wow. I don't know.
I mean, I've had to be escalated to a certain point.
Yeah.
It's not at 8 a.m. while George is eating the cereal, but my buttons have been pushed
for sure
too many times, and then the lion has to come out
for sure.
But no, I asked that somewhat seriously, but also maybe a little facetiously. But because it's just a very interesting example,
Yeah, I think the way he expressed himself in those moments there's probably a difference there.
Oh, mercy. Okay, the second one.
Yeah.
The way you describe business and your belief in yourself is very admirable, and I can feel your confidence, and I can feel your surrender to what will be and just the unfolding of that. And I'm curious if you feel or you have a lack of belief in your personal and relationship side of your life, because, and I'm not insinuating anything here, I'm just picking up on it because you describe business, you're very confident and very excited, if you will. And then when it comes to relationships, it seems like you may be a little
apprehensive.
You don't have as much faith, even though you're a great guy. We've had this conversation.
Yeah.
My wife freaking loves you.
I know. I want to find my Terry. But dude. Yeah. You know what? And I think it's because and it's funny because I don't have any problem with my business. Like business is great, but I do have a problem not technically I don't have a problem, but I don't have somebody.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But I think it is the process of healing that I'm in right now, where even if I met the right person right now, I'm like, and I've been, single for a year and a half now. So I feel like I've, spent a lot of time alone to heal and just be with myself and really reflect and
so maybe it's not so much a belief or lack of confidence. It's more so just a question mark.
It's a question mark. Like, is it? Because that's one thing I'm like.
You know where the business is going. You know where the pursuit's going.
Yeah.
You know where the studio's going.
Yeah.
You don't know.
And I'm and the one thing I know about relationship is it's so unknown.
Yeah. Yep.
But I also am now like I'm in the process of gaining the belief in I know that I'm healing the parts of me that I'm seeing the parts of me that need to be seen so that I can heal them and I can be that right person for the woman of my dreams that I feel very confident that I'm going to have.
And just like you use this example, this metaphor, if you will, as with business or just life, but like the slingshot, it's like you're definitely being pulled back. You're in the healing phase. You're going through your stuff, and as soon as that elastic lets go, it's just like fucking rocket ship.
Yeah, dude, I'm a fairy tale guy. I believe I'm just gonna meet that person. We're gonna lock eyes, and it's gonna be great. It's be off to the races, honestly. Well, no, I'm just gonna try to reel myself in again. I don't want to be realistic about it though. I want it to be magical.
Yeah.
So fuck it.
Yeah.
Why not?
And I think it's one of those things when you know. I think that is true.
Yeah. I don't want to if it's something you have to work on, like obviously it is, but I do believe that there's like a knowing when you meet that person.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. I just wanted to check the time just to I didn't know where we
You're
were.
my example.
Really had no
Dude, we're lost. How long is it?
35 minutes.
That's good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went off there.
No, you needed to share it.
I just had to share it. It felt vulnerable, but
yeah,
whatever.
Good for you.
If it can help somebody. And that's what happened in men's group like this week. I was like, I was going to wallow in my sorrow. And I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to share, give some insight, and maybe it'll help me or it'll help somebody else, that perspective, which is pretty much this perspective I just shared. So yeah, you're now in the know on Justin's life. Feels weird because I'm a very private guy.
Yeah, but this healing. Someone will hear this, and
maybe somebody needs to hear it
and serve a great purpose. I think one thing I wanted to touch on for sure when it came to tarot, I'm wondering if there's anything I need to share or what I'd like to share. Maybe the synopsis I would give is mine was really focused around business. Thankfully, very strong marriage, relationship, partnership with Terry. It showed her there in the cards as just being someone who's by my side, who is along for the ride. Actually, the chariot showed up.
Wow, she showed up. Wow.
And it's more so that she's along for the ride.
Yeah.
She trusts me. She supports me. She isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, amazing.
In the chariot, she's with me.
Yeah, she's the horse.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just kidding. She's in there with you.
Yeah. So
kids are the horse.
Yeah. So that's beautiful, and yeah, mine was more revolved around business, and we have plans for the golf club. Plans for the golf club just to make it a greater experience for the community. And what else showed up there? Patience. I need to be patient with myself because I am in such a creative flow right now that I just want to do everything, and it's just like, all right, just pump the brakes. Things are gonna work out the way they're supposed to. Just you can't do it all. Yeah. You gotta make sure you're still taking care of yourself and be patient.
Calm down, Jeff.
Calm down.
Yeah, dude.
Jimmy, you just want to go. But it's fun. It's beautiful to be in that creative flow, and it's just like I can't sketch enough. I can't dream enough. It's just like the thoughts just keep coming. Right. I can't keep up to them. Yeah. And I love it. It's just so I'm really embracing that.
That's passion.
Yeah.
Purpose.
Yeah, big time. Then what else did it saw? So then Alex brought up something, and this is for a future. And I'll touch on this because I think there's some magic in this sharing. But like, he saw something in the cards, and he used language and words that described it. And I was like, just like the FU, like yelled it. I was just like, how do you see this? Because I actually never went into the reading with this on my mind. Yeah. Obviously, it's in my energy field, but I didn't go asking for it specifically. But it came up, and then it became a major part of the reading. Yeah.
Keep the details close.
Yeah.
Don't allude to any details.
So I was just excited because it's been something I've been focusing on for probably the last 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
And the thought that Ike's Turf, my landscape business, was the catalyst and the conduit to introduce me to this opportunity. And now it's come full circle, but in a different fashion. Yeah. And this creative vision will be used in a different way, but Ike's Turf was the introduction. I don't understand how the universe can conspire and how the math works out. Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm talking about the psychedelic experience. Like how does the math work out? How does the geometry work out? How the fuck does it work out? It blows my mind. And through all the beauty, through all the challenges, through all the stepping stones, because when I do look back on my, call it 40 years, it's just like every step of the way, every stepping stone has served 100% of purpose for me. Yeah. And it's just, I just feel so fulfilled, and the feeling of knowing that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, because I feel so fulfilled and fueled and feel love and feel great. Like this week in particular, I have had a lot of gratitude, like in class, being around the men's circle, talking with you, the likes of Ari and Dan. Like I just very grateful. Kaylee and I the other day, we just shared a quick text because we were just like,
beautiful.
fuck, like this community has just been amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's taken me 40 years to find my tribe.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I've been feeling.
Yeah.
And I've worked pretty hard this week. Like I pretty much attended every class I'd ever loved. Not every class, but all the AM workouts and stuff.
Good.
And like my body needs a rest this weekend.
Yeah.
I pushed it pretty hard.
Yeah.
But I feel like my ass grew. I feel like with all the squats and lunges.
Jesus. Oh no.
I feel like I've grown a pant size.
Holy shit.
So that's a challenge.
Definitely a glute size.
Yeah. But in seriousness, I feel good this week. I feel like I've actually grown, whether it's mentally, physically, spiritually. I just feel like I've expanded. And the reading was part of that. Like it really helped propel me and give me, again, more confidence that I am on the right path. And with what I'm pursuing, it feels good. Yeah. And when you feel good, you feel God. Yeah. You know, that's what Wayne Dyer said. Yeah. And so, yeah. And I think that's the magic of the tarot or any sort of energy reading. It's like when you're open to it and open to receiving, and in that field, it can be used for good. And even the negative stuff, like you hearing that you're going to be having challenging conversations and you're going to butt heads, like you could take that and run away from it and not embrace it, or you could walk into the storm or try and walk through it and then learn your lessons
and know myself better from it.
Exactly. Like you didn't get Alex's information. Well, it's really your information, but you didn't get the reading and go, fuck this, I'm not going to talk to anybody for the next 3 months. Yeah. Like you embraced it. Yeah. And look at you now. Yeah. More clarity, more confidence, more self-love. Like you healed parts of yourself, right? And
I didn't know what was going to come up of it.
No.
I just knew that there were going to be hard conversations.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. I feel like I'm contradicting myself in a thought right now, because I do believe that we do get choice, but I also believe that we are somewhat in this simulation, and you are just guided. Yeah. And you just follow. And I don't know what's kept me from having a hard life if it comes to substance abuse or this and that. I don't know why I've been blessed with having a great work ethic and a drive to achieve higher things. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else. I'm not saying that at all, but I do feel my life is a little bit easier than if I was doing some hard stuff and whatever else, right? Yeah. So I think my sense of gratitude is just that I'm blessed that I get to live Jeff's life, this life, and I get to try and improve every day, and that's just the goal. And I had something else I was going to share, but if you want to chime in, go ahead.
No, that's phenomenal. It is. Yeah, it's Alex is a conduit to help you. Yeah, see the magic of the world. There's a lot of magic.
I think that's what I feel like I'm embracing now, and I feel like I've got, persevered through a lot of challenging things, and now it feels like, here's where I would go with this thought, because we've used the word manifest on here before, and we talk about the woo-woo effect and whatever else, and really manifestation is just a byproduct of your thoughts, your energy, and your action. Yeah. Right? You can manifest a tough, really challenging life. Yep. Or you can manifest a beautiful one, and it's just a byproduct of what actions and what decisions you make.
Your thoughts.
Right? Yep. But at the same time, after the reading and where my life feels like it's going, there's almost this woo-woo effect of like, okay, I can really conjure up and become a magician of my life with my thoughts. Yeah. Because I've taken so much action and inspired action, but now it's like, now if I get a really crystal clear on what I want and what I want to attract, it's just like, okay, do you understand what I'm saying? It's just it's a different energy now. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying I feel like I'm kind of being contradictory with my words, but I've done so much grind, tough action, and it's inspired, but it was tough. But now it feels like I have the ability to just really attract what I'm looking for.
There's woo-woo manifestation, but then there's also knowing yourself enough to your creative abilities.
Yeah.
And you can see the world as this flat, this is a pillow and I can only do so much with this. There's a lack mindset there. But when there's a mindset of like, I create what I want in my life. I don't know how, I don't know when, how, and I know that when I control something too much, it can not go somewhere. But when you can open your heart and open your mind and just live from passion and purpose, it's like, my experience is everything I've ever wanted starts to create around me, instead of trying to be very forceful and create things that can be very beneficial, but also allowing the magic of life to unfold. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. No.
Okay.
And we've talked about it before when we were talking, like I was talking about the manifestation of the golf club, and it's like, again, when I was 10 years old, using a lawnmower and cutting a golf green out of the backyard grass, and then to build a chipping green or whatever, and then have aspirations of wanting to golf, go to work at a golf course, all that sort of stuff, and it's like, yeah, I want to own a golf course one day or own a golf club, and again, it's like I set that intention. And yet it's not what I thought it was going to be. It's actually probably something better than I thought it was going to be. So we have the indoor golf facility, which I never ever thought about.
Yeah.
But I'm so blessed and grateful that it happened. And so again, to use this example of this Ike's Turf introduction to this thought, and then 10 to 12 years later, it comes full circle, and it feels like it's going to come to fruition, and it could happen fast. It's just like, it's just more proof that your thoughts create things. So be careful about what you think. There's obviously
be very careful what you think.
Whether it's Wayne Dyer or Michael Dooley or Michael Singer, like there's a lot of
Joe
books
Dispenza.
about that. Yeah, but it's like your thoughts become things. And so be careful about what you think. And I've always been someone who's been blessed with having I would say a wild imagination and the creative ability, and it's like those intentions that and creative thoughts I had when I was a teenager are coming to fruition now. And they might have morphed a little bit, but it's for the better. And it's a better dream than I could have dreamed. It's just fucking how.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Form is manifest through thought. So, we have material things, and a rock doesn't turn into a watch out of nowhere, right? And a watch is a very complex piece of machinery. But it was a dream. It was a thought. It was a desire. Someone had the passion and the purpose to be like, I'm going to figure out the sun and the earth and create this concept of time. And then eventually somebody else had this vision of like, oh my God, what if we wore a thing that allowed us to keep track?
Wrist,
yeah. And then a spaceship. Someone dreamed up a spaceship and then made it happen because they had so much desire for it. And you can, and the reality is like your thoughts become things, what you believe about yourself. Like if you believe that it's possible, like none of those people were like, you know what, it can't be me. That just seems like a little bit too much work. I don't know. That doesn't seem realistic. I am just going to be an accountant. Fuck that. They believed in themselves enough. And I think going back to my belief about my business and my work, I'm like, I believe in it wholeheartedly because it just keeps showing up how limitless it is. And wait till I get into that perfect relationship where I fully believe in it.
And I think the real magic is, and you would likely agree to this, it's listening to your heart. And it's like right now, if I was to be trying to manifest a yacht or something, like I really have no desire to have a yacht. But if I was chasing, what society says you should have, and if I was chasing all the cars, I'm not saying I won't have all that shit one day, but for me, my heart does not scream yacht right now. It's envisioning other stuff.
Yeah.
So
And that other thing and that other stuff is happening.
Yeah. That's someone else's dream, and that's someone else's desires, and they're employing other people to do this creative work and all that sort of shit. So, another manifestation for me, there's an example, would be the truck I have. Like my grandfather used to work for GM, General Motors, and so I think there was always a connection there. Like my mom always drove a General Motors vehicle, and when I worked at the
I just need to get this out. I never judged you for driving a GM. I just need you to know that. Hey, I grew up a Toyota guy.
Oh, did you?
I worked for Toyota. Sorry,
just. Oh, thanks. Well, I'm glad you heard that.
It's okay. I need to get that out on the podcast.
Thank you. Great. We're still friends.
Okay. I'm sure it's a fine truck. I'm sure it's gonna last a long time for you. Too. Yeah, it turns out they are.
Yeah. So working at the golf course, the old owner, Dalton Sampson, he had a GM pickup truck.
Yeah.
And when I got my license and I would, go to town for an errand or something or whatever, go to the rental shop, and was allowed to drive his truck or the, golf course truck. I remember feeling the steering wheel. I remember feeling how comfortable it rode. Like, I just remember feeling like I want this truck when I get older. And it's so funny. It's hitting me. Like, I used to think that all the time when I drove the truck.
Mm-hmm.
And, as life goes on, that's what I drive now. And it might sound like a silly example, but for me, it was real. Like, I was like, I want this truck really bad.
Yeah.
And my buddy, he used to, Brad Shakes, used to train horses and stuff. And so I would go with him a little bit. And if I ever had the opportunity to drive his truck, I was just in love because he used to drive 20, GM 2500s and stuff. And
it's a beautiful truck. It really is.
Yeah.
And every time I've gotten in the truck,
that's my yacht.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's my
Jeff
yacht.
Talks about how grateful he is. Yeah. And just how proud and happy he is in that truck.
I fucking love driving because it feels like you're driving a spaceship. I just love getting in and there's a button to press and there's this and that and I adjust the mirrors and it's just like it's my spaceship,
Yeah. I actually have a dream vehicle.
Yeah.
Aston Martin V8 Vantage manual. Yeah. 2008. Yeah. I drove one before.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is my car. But who knows?
Good for you.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's like, I like European muscle. It's a European muscle car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Just saying. That's amazing. It's true. It's manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's so funny, dude. You got to be careful with what you want.
I do. I can be powerful. Here's the cool thing too. You might have the same philosophy. Like, some people, and here's an interesting topic too. Like, the idea of the automobile market. There's brand new vehicles that are being sold for $80,000 to $100,000, and obviously way more.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have your entry level stuff that's base model that you could probably get for $25,000. And it's like that whole industry is built around scarcity and manifesting the best. And so there's times where I get this truck, like, do I need a truck with all the bells and whistles?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, the fuck I do. You know why? Because GM has their best engineers, their best designers, their best creative people, and the best marketing all involved in that truck.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with an entry-level pickup truck, but guaranteed you have interns or some, entry-level designers and engineers on those trucks, or they're just base.
Yeah.
So where my mind goes is like, that spaceship I drive, they have the absolute best when it comes to creativity working on that vehicle.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's where I'm like, I
want that.
I want that.
Good.
I want to drive what the best are creating.
Yeah.
Get
Beautiful.
a little ramped up there. I fucking love it.
I have always had this is a Taurus thing. Going into astrology now, but a Taurus, I like really nice things. Like quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm.
When I can have even if it's a pair of pants, like these Lululemon pants, I fucking love these Lululemon pants. I could do splits in them. Yeah. And they look like
dressy. I thought
dressy.
You were wearing dress slacks.
Yeah. I like nice things like an Aston Martin V8 Vantage. It's got a wood handle, manual shifter. Like, it's really just very nice, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I have an appreciation for the detail, the finer things.
Yeah. There's so my mentor Paul there. I might have explained before, but yes, very successful, came from nothing sort of guy, and he was a millwright by trade, and again just built his companies up from nothing. And when I first met him, he had a boat in his garage that had wheels, so he literally drove it out of his garage out on the shoreline. It was a I forget what the name of the boat was, but I think it was manufactured in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a military boat. That was the concept. So
Yeah.
it's like they could run onto shore if they needed to do something, or be in the water and all of a sudden just run up on shore.
Wow.
And then he also had a Lamborghini in the garage, and he also had an AMG, a Mercedes AMG. I forget what style it was. Nice. I was just like, for the longest time, I wanted his Mercedes. Yeah. And it was almost in my head a reward for all the hard work I'd been doing. Where I did get lost, and I might have shared this before, but like I got caught chasing Paul's life, and I got caught chasing his materialism, if you will. Because he created it all. He has the wealth to do it. He's able to enjoy it, and again, no doubt he enjoys it for the reasons I just explained. Yeah, there's great, beautiful engineering involved and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And he's enjoying all of his hard work. And so that's where I caught myself, is I was chasing that stuff for the wrong reason.
And how did it feel the whole time when you were chasing the wrong?
I would say it
like, did it feel right?
Looking back now, it was probably inauthentic. Where now it's like I would revisit that now, and if I don't have a vision board right now, but if I was to create one, I would probably put it on there, because now I have enough self-awareness around it that it's like, okay, let's see if I can create this magic and rekindle that vision, because it's still real. I really did feel it. I remember sitting in the car, and I actually he offered to take me for a rip in the Lambo, and I never did, because I was like, I don't want to feel what it feels like. Yeah. For some reason, I just like, I don't. Yeah. If it ever comes into my life, it'll be my own sort of thing. Yeah. My brother went and my youngest brother Curtis went for a rip in it. Yeah. It was apparently a pretty wild experience.
I can only imagine.
But I remember I never got to drive the AMG, but like I looked after his house when he was away for the winter, and I remember just going and sitting in the car. Yeah. I don't know if he knows that I did that, but I would just go and sit in that car and just sit low and just like, it's just like, wow. I'm just getting chills thinking about it. Yeah. But I just remember, cool. And I just walk around and I would just stare at it. It's just so beautiful, this car. Yeah. It was a simple car. Yeah. And he actually said he liked that car more because it was kind of inconspicuous, where it would blend in. Yeah. But it was so fucking fast. And he said he would just rip on the 400 with it, but he would just blend in. You wouldn't. Yeah. It didn't stand out like a bright yellow Lamborghini. Yeah. Phenomenal. So, anyway.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. Manifestation.
Yeah.
It's a powerful thing when you know how to use it.
Yeah. I like this conversation. I think it's kind of a full circle convo about the tarot. Yep. And how you can use it as a tool. Yep. And then, life, Yeah. And I think we touched on it enough. I wanted to make sure we talked about the challenging aspects of the tarot, because you're still going to have contrasts in your life. It's not like you just go in there and you're hoping for the best, and Alex is going to pull the most beautiful cards, and this is just, life is easy. No.
No.
Not at all.
No. Nothing's void of challenge. No. And the beautiful thing about anything that makes you stronger stresses you. You don't get stronger from easy life. You only get stronger from challenge and stress. Whether it's mental, physical, emotional.
So do you have any, I feel like we've done well here.
Yeah, we did it. We killed it.
I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, this was awesome.
So if you were having a conversation with someone who was new to tarot, hadn't done before, like, do you have any advice, or what would you share with them to help open their mind or help open them into the consideration of it?
I would tell them, like, I would say, like, I'm an open dude, and stay as open as you can while he reads you, and open your mind to a shift in perspective, and know that it's not set in stone. Yeah. There's almost aspects of it that are general.
Yeah.
So it allows for a lot of reality, because reality is constantly shifting and changing. So your ability to keep your feet on the ground, don't lose yourself and think this is, I think a lot of people look for fix me or give me the knowledge I need to know to get through this or whatever. And it's like, because I work in health and fitness, there's a lot of people that are just like, I'm looking for that miracle pill. And the fucking miracle pill is tying your shoes up a little bit tighter and taking the steps.
I like that.
And knowing that it's going to be a hard road. And your resistance is there for a reason. And it's for you to overcome the resistance so you believe in yourself enough. And trust me, when you start feeling good, it's going to come. But yeah, nothing comes easy. It's not meant to. Stop thinking that. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I just did not convince that person to do tarot, but why not? Why not look at the magic of the world and know that I think people get confused with like, how's he going to read me? And know that there's people that are skilled. So when you enter a room, I'm sure everyone's had this experience where you enter a room and you're like, I don't trust that fucking guy. There's something about that guy I just don't want any part of, or woman. Mm-hmm. Could be man or woman. That's an energy thing. And some people have the ability and the language to really read the energy. Mm-hmm. Where I personally, like, kind of, but not to the capacity that some people do. Yeah. Just a little bit.
And just like anything, like with Alex, it's just practice.
Yeah.
He's been doing it long enough now. He's experienced enough people that it's just he's opened that portal in his life.
Yeah.
And so he's open to receiving.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he's able to walk.
And it blows his mind.
Yeah.
Like when I see him freak out and just like get excited, it's like it's not somebody that's trying to manipulate the game.
No.
It's somebody that's just like, this is a beautiful gift that he's meant to interpret and read and share this beautiful aspect of life. Mm-hmm. And it's exciting for him, and it's beautiful to watch, actually.
And I think that's what I enjoyed maybe the most is his enthusiasm. Like he didn't hold back. It was almost like, hey, can you shut the fuck up? Like, they're gonna be able to hear you down the hallway. He actually at the end he's like, oh, I gotta remember, I gotta keep my voice down there. But he was getting amplified.
He's stoked.
He's excited about what he's reading and just the energy of the
and that's cool.
Right? Yeah. So that's how you know it's authentic because and dude, you can't bullshit that stuff.
No, the shit.
You can't.
We're leaving a lot out. We're leaving a lot out, just so you know.
Yeah.
And the shit he says, he shouldn't know. There's things he shouldn't know, and you're not saying anything. It's just he's saying something, and then maybe you give it a little validity, like, okay.
Well, I felt it was helpful in certain areas to go, and I
do that
him,
too.
It's like, would you like any clarity on this just to help you? And he would say yes, or he'd say no.
Yeah.
And when you gave him you nudged him with a little bit of information, then he would just bring him that clarity, and then just watch out
or he'll draw more cards. See what comes up.
Yeah.
How about you?
I love when he draws cards too.
Dude, yeah.
He's got this sexy way of
yeah. And you're like, woo!
Got this flip and it's
here
like,
we go.
What's it say?
Yeah. It's fucking cool, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
It is though, because it can I wouldn't say it can become addicting.
Yeah.
But if you're someone who's looking for that magic pill, it becomes that addictive tool because you're like, oh, I need it. It's like, no, you need to obviously return to yourself, tap into your own knowingness, and live your life as, like Alex or the like wasn't there to help you. It's like you need to live your life. But once you are open to receiving and you're looking for a little support, then it's a great tool. And
get the information, but no life is going to unfold exactly how it's meant to, and don't try to control it too much.
Yeah. And I think if I was to be asked like any advice I'd give, it's the vulnerability. And it's just like anything, whether you're going to have an open conversation with a spouse or a friend, partner, it takes a little bit of courage to really walk into that room and just go, I'm just wide open.
Yeah. Read me.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm open to whatever needs to come through.
Yeah, because someone might be closed off because they don't want to hear the truth.
Yep.
Right?
The truth is hard to hear.
Yeah, it's scary. I don't want to know what's fuck on the other side. You know.
Well, you do, but.
No, sorry, yeah. But that person who might be closed off is like, they might be like, I don't want to know what's on the other side.
Yeah.
I don't want to look in the mirror and have to do the dirty work, you know?
A lot of people are avoiding the dirty work.
That's where the growth is.
Yeah.
So.
Fuck yeah, dude. That was fun.
Yeah.
Wow. We're going to have to get him on the podcast.
It'd be a lot of fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know he's discussed it too. It's like him being a strong male who does this. I think he has some challenges with it just because
of course
it might be labeled as something that's feminine or only women do and whatnot, but he does it so well.
He does it so well.
He's amazing. This, he's a handsome dude. He's just sitting there and he's so articulate and he's just he delivers
very
well
spoken.
You're just like yeah. It's a cool experience.
It's an awesome experience. Highly recommend. And we're not here trying to sell it. We're here because we had powerful experiences.
Well,
I do promote it because I believe in it now. But
yeah. And like I said, I shared that I've had a number of psychic readings in the medium stuff and another tarot reading. And again, I don't know if it's just because of where I'm at in my life and the openness and whatnot, I feel the clarity I have around my purpose and my drive and my visions. But this experience was completely different. Mm-hmm. It was like I was forecasting my future. Yeah. It was just different. There was just, and I think it's because when I've done the psychic readings, the girls I work with have dropped blocks, so they're also reading off, with the cups, the wands, the swords, mm-hmm. all that sort of the characters. So they're also reading, but for some reason, his experience was just completely different.
Yeah, I explain my readings are like it feels like I'm on a sailboat, and it's just like you're hot, you're out of water, or maybe that's dramatic. It might be a little bit dramatic, but it's like the wind coming into the sails and being like, you're gonna be fine. Life is taking care of you. Mm. You just follow your passions. Your passions are fruitful always. Everyone should follow their heart and trust in the unfolding. But most importantly, be honest with yourself and do the work.
Yeah.
Because your life's not going to look like it should if you don't follow your passion, don't do the work, mm-hmm. and yeah.
And I don't think it's cheating life. Like, you're not seeing into your future where it's like the next step to take. Yeah. You can feel the energy, but it's not telling you specifically what to do.
No.
It's giving you generality.
Very general.
But I was going to say, like, this life is very challenging. And so if you can be open to receiving and you can use it as a tool to connect with the divine, then fucking use it.
Yeah. Let's fucking go.
Like,
yeah.
Let's connect with the other side as efficiently as possible here.
Yes.
Like,
and it's funny, two guys coming from trades, being very realistic.
Yeah.
Having a conversation about tarot right now.
Yeah.
Being like, fuck, like, how cool is life?
Yeah.
But it's because we were open to it.
Yeah, I don't think this would have happened 5 years ago.
And really, it's no fun being like, oh, fuck that, any closed belief system is closed. You literally put blinders on yourself and you lose like an open perspective of how beautiful life could really be.
Yeah, no peripheral. It's just that hallway. Just that's boring, and it's dangerous, and it's not healthy, and it's not for me.
No, but if it's for you, that's fine.
Yeah,
no judgment.
No judgment here.
Well, there's judgment, but that's true. I don't think judgment's bad either. There is healthy judgment.
Well, that's why you're able to walk in the room and go, I don't trust that.
Yeah.
That's assessing. That's your instincts, or it's your energy, and it's judging because it's gonna serve you or not serve you. Yeah.
I think we're not to side note this, but I just want to get clear on judgment. Judgment is a barometer for you to be like, am I going to spend time with this person? Am I going to invest my energy and my time with this person?
Yeah.
That's really just judgment. So, and judge yourself. Judge yourself strongly. Like, are you really in integrity?
I've done that a lot.
But that's another podcast. Woo! Wow, that was fun, bro.
That was...
Yeah, I'm going to text Alex right now, bro. We just had a freaking hour podcast about you.
Thank you for being with us. We love recording these podcasts. If you know anyone who would resonate with today's episode, we would be grateful if you would share it with them. If you have any questions or comments, do not be shy and reach out. We would love to connect with you. Until next time, be well, love yourself, and live consciously.